everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and I'm doing another video where I'm sharing my screen with you and showing you some websites. I know the audio sucks. There's nothing I can really do about it right now. So if you want to get more videos from me and you want me to have better equipment, I need you to subscribe and like, so I can maybe monetize these videos and justify spending more money on equipment. I need a new laptop, guys. I need a new laptop. Like and subscribe. Let's get to this. I want to talk about getting your ham radio license. I recently made a video about why you need to do it. So now I'm going to help you learn how to do it. And I think your first step is to go to ARRL.org. I think that stands for American Radio Relay League, I believe. But they're kind of the overarching body that, I don't know, governs all this stuff. That's how you get your license and everything. So if you come to this website, they got a ton of information. You can completely nerd out if you're into that sort of thing. You know, there's hamfests and conventions. They've got a magazine. There's just a bunch of nerd stuff, and you can do all that. The part that I was interested in is get your license. Or there's also clubs. I forgot about that. So you can find clubs that are local to you. If you really want to get into this and really understand it and get good at it and make it a hobby and a passion, that's really the direction you go in. I'm not into it that deep. I just want it for emergency purposes at this point. Maybe at some point I'll go full nerd on it, but right now I'm not. So there are, I think there's 3 different types of license: the technician license, the general license, and the amateur extra license. These basically, you know, they're increasing levels of difficulty and knowledge, but also increasing levels of what you can do and the number of bands and type of bands that you're allowed to or licensed to access. For our purposes, all you really need is the technician's license. And so, let's see. You can go here, and this really tells you everything you need to know. I haven't done this in a few years, but it looks like they have online sessions, which I don't believe they had back when I was doing this. But let's see what 49008. Within 25 miles. Search. So out in Kalamazoo, they've got one coming up in May 28th. American Red Cross, 8:30 a.m. So that's what you do. So you find out when it is, where it is, the cost. I'm not sure how much it costs anymore. I believe that they raised the prices maybe a couple times. I think I heard that they're raising the price very soon, if they haven't already. But so what I did was figure out how much time you have until the next test, whenever that is, and then start studying and plan accordingly. If the 28th, so right now it's actually Cinco de Mayo, if 23 days isn't enough time for you to study this thing, then, you know, look for the next one. Personally, I think I studied for like a week and I just did it. I'm a very good test taker. That doesn't mean that I'm super smart. I am. That doesn't mean that I fully understood everything. I just know how to pass a test, and I did in less than a week without too much effort. But I can't explain much of this stuff to you, what it means or anything. And so this is going to give you basically all the information that you need on how to get licensed. They actually have a book as well. You know, let's go. I think you're allowed to have a calculator and some paper, and or not paper, paper, so you can, because you do need to do some math, if I recall. Let's see what the application fee is. Oh, it's $35 now per application. I feel like when I did it, it was like $17. So that's still not a huge fee, but it's still a fee, and you just gotta pay it. And you get to keep your license for, is it 10 years? Um, let's see. Instrucciones de la tarifa solicitada de la FCC. So yeah, there you go. Just look at this website, get everything you need. So once you figure that out, what you need to do, when you need to do it, where you need to do it, etc., you need to start studying. And there's a couple of different options there. The ARRL has a book that they publish, and you want to get the most current one because they replace it. So let's see, here we go. So it's a 35 question test, and it comes from a pool of questions of, I forget how many, is it 100 or something? But there's a bunch of questions, and they pick 35 of that pool of questions. And so every 4 years or so, what is it? This is 2018, so every 2 years, I guess. It's only 2 years? I thought it was less frequent than that. Every 2 years, they change the pool. So if you get a book from 2016, it'll have useful information for you, but you're not gonna necessarily be studying the questions that they're gonna be asking. And so make sure you get the most current book. This one is only good until June 2022. So if you think you're gonna do the test after that, don't get this book. Wait till the new one comes out. I did not take this approach. This is official. Some people like books and all that. I don't. I like apps. And so what I used was actually hamstudy.org. And so this gives you, I really like this site. They also have an app. Let's see. So you can do a practice test. You can read the questions from the pool. And so it's got all these different sections, and you got like it's a lot of questions. I don't remember how many it is, but all these different sections. And so you can just read. I thought it was click on things. Oh, here we go. So which of the following is the purpose of the amateur radio service as stated in the FCC rules and regulations? It's a multiple choice test. So this question is one of the questions that could be on there, worded exactly like this exact thing. Just copy and paste it onto the piece of paper. It could be this question. It might not be. And so it's telling you the options, and it's giving you the correct answer. And if you click on that, it explains it, the why, so you can understand it. And so I just think that's really awesome. This is a way that I learn personally very easily, especially to pass a test. They have the practice test. Oh, let me see, continue with guest. I don't want to log in. What is happening? Nothing seems to be happening. I want to do a practice test. Oh well. Alright, so this is, yeah, to me this seems like a practice test. But you can go through, what do the initials LEO tell you about an amateur satellite? Low Earth orbit, lunar ejection orbit, light emitted optics, satellite battery is low. You know what? I'm going to go with that one. There you go. Click corner for explanation. Just remember that we're talking about a satellite. This question could be a bit tricky if you haven't seen it before, but LEO refers to the position, not to any operation. Is the answer indicates low Earth orbit. I don't know that that was the most helpful answer or explanation to me, but this is kind of like Wikipedia or what do you call it? Stack Exchange or something, where it's just ham operators explaining it, and sometimes the explanations are better than others. And so I love this setup. It's showing you what you've seen, gives you a bunch of, just use this website is what I recommend. Anybody who asks me how they got licensed, I use this website, and I was able to pass the test with no difficulty after about a week of study because I was impatient. and I didn't want to wait. I think the next test was like a month or 2 months away or something like that. I'm like, I'm not waiting that long. I'm going to just do it now. Took my chances. It worked out fine, thanks to this particular site. So once you have your license and once you got all that information down and you have a radio, one of the next things that you want to do is figure out different repeaters and different channels and frequencies you should be listening to. And you've got a couple resources on that. The first one I'm going to go over is Repeater Book. This website, I feel like kind of sucks, but it has an app, and I thought the app was really good. So I haven't really used the website. To me, it's very clunky and poorly designed. But the app is easy. There's parts that are kind of a little bit not that intuitive, but it's easy enough, and I like it. So I strongly recommend having the app. And that's also really convenient because if you're looking for repeaters, you know, you don't have to go on your laptop. You probably have your phone with you in your pocket. You can just real quick, the app, you open it up and boom, boom, boom. It's super fast and easy to find those repeaters. So let me see if I can find, not home, where? Quick searches, I think, maybe. Maybe that one? I did this before. I don't remember what I clicked on exactly. I think I just did quick. Please kick your state. And so, yeah, you gotta have to kind of struggle through this. But it will show you. Here we go. Guess that wasn't that bad. So here's some filters you can do, whether you know, the various bands. If you're doing a technician, you're going to be doing 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands. Those are the two that you're going to focus on. I kind of sort of know what some of these things are, but this is above me for right now. These are different type of like Skywarn, Races, Aries. These are all like emergency frequencies when there's dangerous storms and whatnot. That's what they use. Now this is useful. This is not on the app, so that's interesting. You can show repeaters recommended for use by highway. So I guess if you're traveling and you want to be able to hit a repeater, this is good to know. Very good to know. And so then you come down here and you can go by city. So let's do Detroit. That's an ad. Close that. And so now, here's your various repeaters. So you can see this one here, the frequency. So that is your receiving frequency. The frequency that you can just listen. And you don't have to have your license to listen. You can just tune to 51.8400 and listen to whatever anybody's saying on there. However, if you want to be able to talk, you have to know the offset. In this case, it's negative 0.5. And so that means to be able to transmit, you have to subtract 0.5 from this, so it would be 51.3400. And so the radio will transmit on that frequency. And then there's the tone, which is kind of like a little secret handshake or password that your radio used to basically get access, kind of like knock on the door, little secret knock that it does to be able to communicate with that repeater. I do another video where I explain how to program your radio and kind of what this means a little bit better. I'm just kind of doing it quickly now. I think I do a better job in that other video, so watch that one. That may be out right now. I already recorded it, but I don't know what order. I don't know if it's out what time when you're watching this. You got your location, the county, the call sign, I believe, is the person who the owner or operator of that repeater, and whether it's open or not. I'm actually not sure what this icon means. I don't think that's on the app. And this is in some of the other features that it has. So like this has fusion, which I think is like something with the Yaesu radios. I I'm not 100% sure. Something I have a Yaesu radio, so it's triggering some memories with that, but I don't know the deets. Echo Link, I believe, is something that they can link multiple repeaters together and kind of get further distance. So it's just as you get more information, understand these things better, you can use these different modes and whatnot. But the important part is just to know the frequency, the offset, and the tone. Those are the three things that you have to know if you want to be able to connect to this repeater. Having the location is useful, though. And I think that's really the main things to take away from this is, oh, I guess I should look if it's on air or not. So I guess it's on air. You know, that doesn't, I don't think it tells me that on the app. So good to know there. So other frequencies that you may want to listen to that, not necessarily a repeater, but if you want to know what frequency, say the local police, you want to use your ham radio as like a police scanner. If you want to listen to various emergency stations, if you want to listen to the National Weather Service, FEMA, whatever. Here's the other site that's really useful. It's called radioreference.com. And so that is basically just a listing of, let's see, I think is it databases? This is the worst ad. Oh boy, where do you find it? I'm gonna go back. I've definitely used this site, but I don't remember. Oh, maybe here you go. Nationwide frequencies. Is that what I used? Okay, so this is more the stuff that I'm interested in. So like federal disaster. That's a frequency that I want. So FEMA is using these frequencies, 406.26250. So I would want to save these frequencies. National Disaster Medical System, Urban Search and Rescue. So you can look through here, and there is a way that you can go by state and by your area, and there might be more things you might be interested in. American Red Cross, that might be useful. Public safety, let's see how that's organized. LoJack Stolen Vehicle Recovery System. Do people still use LoJack? Is that still a thing? So law enforcement in some areas. Not necessarily your area, but some areas that's what they use apparently. So this is a good site to play around on and search in. Again, not the most friendly, in my opinion, designed. Like a lot of these places, it's kind of hard to find what you're looking for, but just click around until you find it. Let's see, I'm in Detroit. Oh, you know, let's go back because so updated in the past 24 hours, updated in the past week. So it looks like this stuff is regularly updated and maintained and should be pretty accurate. I'm gonna go Wayne County. All right, so public safety mutual aid. So what's tricky here is when I was looking at this, it appears that they're doing some kind of updates and they're switching over to something else that's not going to be easily accessible just on your technician allowed ham radio. But there's still other things that you can. So, you know, just see what's in your area. If you want to hear tornado sirens, that's which the way things are going, that's probably not a bad idea to have that programmed in there. Be listening to that. But yeah, lots of stuff that you can listen to. Some of it is kind of interesting. I was able to listen to some of the police stations around me. I think it was Southfield Police. I was able to listen to them, and it was very boring. Nothing was happening. There was just a little bit of, I mean, they weren't like chit-chatting, but there was no high-profile crimes happening. It was not the most exciting thing. But yeah, check this out. So these are the 4 websites, well, I guess maybe 3 websites that I highly recommend if you want to get your license and start doing ham radio. I think Ham Study, you definitely want it to spend a lot of time there as you're studying. I think it's a fantastic resource. It made things very easy for me. Uh, this repeater book was completely, there's no way I would have found, I have no idea how else I would have found the repeater information. I'm able to talk to people 30, 40 miles away from me without any issue thanks to these repeaters and the information that I found on this site. And even though I have not had a ton of success because people aren't really, at least in my area, they're moving away from these frequencies, but I've been able to get some information here, and hopefully in an emergency that will put me one step ahead. I've got the information there, it's saved, and I've got another video where I talk all about programming your radio and kind of coming up with a communication plan. So like and subscribe, check out all the videos in this playlist, and I will see you guys in the next video.